What's up, everybody? It's Chase SR from the Night Sky, and welcome to the top 5 best South Park episodes. And this video was highly recommended by you guys, and I decided, you know what? I'll finally do it. I'll finally make you guys happy and enjoy my genius idea that I came up with. But before we get started, let me list off the rules. I'm only going to be including episodes that I have watched. And FYI, I have not seen every single South Park episode. And I will not be including exclusive episodes, more specifically from Paramount Plus. And this is my opinion, so do not get upset with me if you disagree. Now, with all the rules out of the way, let's get started. Little Crime Stoppers is hilarious and has an awesome concept. The four boys want to be detectives, and they solve a couple of crimes. And they did so well that they managed to go work for the police department. And they actually send them to solve actual crimes. And the way they handle it is just hilarious, because they just keep on pretending that they're being junior detectives. And the scene with Butters was honestly really hilarious. And the episode ends with the four boys deciding to quit playing detectives and deciding to do something else. Overall, the episode was just really fun to watch, and it was really funny. Breast Cancer Show Ever is amazing, and it's one of my favorite Wendy episodes. The episode starts off with Cartman being annoying like he always is, and Wendy challenges him to a fight. Cartman accepts the fight, but realizes that he's scared. So he tries everything to convince Wendy not to fight him. And the things that Cartman does is hilarious. First, he apologizes, then he bribes her, and he eats his underwear. What's weird is I find that scene kind of funny, but yet again it was kind of gross. But all of those didn't work. So Cartman decides to be a snitch and snitch on Wendy's parents. Which kind of worked. But when Wendy gets called to Principal Victoria's office, she encourages Wendy to fight Cartman. And which she does. And the ending was easily the best part of the episode, because Cartman got exactly what he deserved. Because he was annoying in the beginning of the episode, and it was karma at its finest. And it was an episode where Wendy was really enjoyable. Do I think this is my favorite Wendy episode? No, but we'll get to that later. TMI is absolutely hilarious. And it's a really underrated South Park episode. People tend to forget about this episode, and I'm honestly surprised, because this episode is really funny. And this is one of the few South Park episodes where I actually enjoyed Cartman. And yes, I am a Cartman hater saying this. But overall, Cartman and Randy were both really funny. More specifically, Randy was. And it got to the point where Cartman and Randy went to anger management for basically the dumbest reason. I'm not going to say it because I really don't want to get age restricted, but all I'll say is that it's a super reason. But overall, the episode is really, really funny. And I did fall down to the ground laughing hysterically because this episode is just really, really good. And the only main reason why this episode isn't higher is because it's kind of forgettable, honestly. Which is such a shame because I really love this episode. But overall, great episode. And now on to my original number one, The List. This episode is phenomenal. So the episode starts off with the boys figuring out that the girls made a list of who's cutest to ugliest. And after a few failed attempts, or should I say one, they finally retrieve the list. And Kyle is lowest on the list. And Stan is worried for Kyle. So he tries to convince Wendy to change the list, and she agrees. And after trying to convince all the girls, they all declined. And while Wendy is trying to convince all the girls to change the list, Stan is completely clueless to what they are talking about. And honestly, it's just really, really funny. And also, Kyle was really out of character in this episode. And I just love how Kyle is portrayed as the voice of reason and a relatable guy into a character that just take things really, really personally in this episode. And that is not the Kyle that we all know and love. And fast forward towards the ending, it turns out that Bebe decided to change the list her way so that way she could get free shoes from Clyde at the mall. And after a fight between Wendy and Bebe, Wendy loses and gets arrested. And the ending ends with Stan vomiting on Wendy. Shocker. But overall, awesome episode. It was really action-packed. It was really hilarious. And overall, was an awesome concept of an episode. The list was originally going to be number one, but I found something else better. Now, before we get to number one, time for some honorable mentions. Christian Rockhard, 4th grade, and Clubhouses were really good episodes, but they were kind of forgettable. Carmen Gets an AP was actually a really good pilot episode, but not great. It Hits the Fan was really hilarious and all over the place, but it only focuses on one joke. Follow That Egg was a really action-packed episode, but Stan kind of prevented the episode from being great in my opinion. Elementary School Musical was a really awesome episode, but I felt like it could have been more better. Stanley's Cup was a great concept, but ended tragically. Pajama Day, Deep Learning, and Bored Girls were all really awesome recent South Park episodes, but they are not good compared to the other episodes that I've listed. And finally, PC Principal's Final Justice. This episode was perfect for PC Principal, but some scenes were kind of forgettable in my opinion. But anyways, on to number one. Okay, this will come out as no surprise. Number one is Imagination Land. Part 1, 2, and 3. Honestly, Imagination Land was hands down my favorite South Park episode. I originally went back and forth between Imagination Land and The List, but after watching both of them, I realized that Imagination Land was better than The List. It was just amazing. And all three parts had a lot of things going on with the plots, and it was really well done. All the characters were really enjoyable. Even Cartman was enjoyable, and he was really funny in that episode. And basically what happens in this episode is Cartman and his friends go to Imagination Land, don't ask, and Butters gets trapped there, and then they try to get him back, and then imaginations are running wild. Man Bear Pig arrives, Butters saves the day, and everybody lives happily ever after, and the bad guys are all defeated. Honestly, this episode, or episodes, were perfect for Butters' character. And it made me appreciate how much I enjoy Butters as a character. Because he was the main star for Imagination Land. Because he was just that great in that episode. And overall, Imagination Land has a great concept, the best execution, great humor, and great action scenes. And that is why Imagination Land Parts 1, 2, and 3 are my favorite South Park episodes. And I know it seems cheating, and I know you guys are probably going to go in the comments section saying, "But Chase, those are multiple episodes. You can't choose all of them for number 1. You are such an idiot. I'm unsubscribing right now." Yes, I know, it is multiple parts, but 1, they are considered episodes, and 2, this is my channel and I can do whatever I want. So, at the end of the day, Imagination Land Parts 1, 2, and 3 are my favorite South Park episodes ever. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content, and we'll see you all next time. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go to bed now because I am really, really exhausted. Peace out!